We have questions. Well, the big news of the day is ThrillJoy's one of one Frodo. And
yes.
Somebody pulled it in Las Vegas. And ThrillJoy was there. Isn't that weird?
That's really weird.
Luckily, we have Carissa from ThrillJoy coming on with us in this video. We're going to ask her all sorts of questions, to include questions that you were asking. I put out a video asking you for questions. We want to hear from you. And I know there's a lot of anger and a lot of frustration out there. And I'm hoping that with your questions, we can get them answered and we can find a little bit of resolve. I don't think we're going to make everybody happy, but at least if we make just a couple of you happy. And that's what we do here on the Gastlecast. We like to make at least 2 people happy.
Just 2?
Usually.
I actually ran around today to multiple stores and I got multiple ThrillJoy Frodos in hopes of getting the one of one, but we all know that we didn't get it, which is fine.
If you didn't see Karissa in the store, then you knew you didn't win.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
Like the telltale sign. Okay, so we could at least hope that we get a chase. Do you feel any difference with like weight? I feel difference in weight with these, but I could be crazy.
I can't tell.
Yeah, because one is definitely going to be lighter. Ready?
Should I open towards the camera?
Go ahead. Let's see.
Ready? What did we get?
Okay, this is a common.
I got the common here.
Okay, so that's a common.
I got the chase!
Oh my god, you did! And I got another common. Well, look at that. We actually got one of the chases. Now listen here. I don't want anybody commenting saying it was rigged, because it wasn't. Heather legitimately went to the store today and got these figures. You must have went to a lot of stores because we have 4 of them.
So I actually went to 3 stores. So I went to my first store. I was in line for like 10 minutes before it opened. And the lady came out. She put all the signage and everything up, and then she was like, okay, you can follow me, but if you're here for the Frodo giveaway, then it's 1 per person, not per rewards account, even if you have multiple accounts, no weighing them.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you could not scale and ski it.
I grabbed one from there, went to the next store, and as I was on my way there, I called and I asked, I was like, hey, I'm on my way from a different mall. I just got my Frodo picks, and I was wondering if I could use my rewards account a second time. And the person on the phone was like, I don't know. I think it might be 1 per account because they have to scan it. We can try your account, or I would be willing to, like, I mentioned you, and she was like, I'd be willing to let you have it under your husband's name. And I was like,
whoa.
Cool. So I went in and it worked under my name. So then I went to the 3rd Hot Topic. They gave me one under my account, and then I mentioned you. I was like, my husband's not able to be here. Would I be able to get one like under his name? And they were like, yeah, but I don't think they're supposed to do that.
Well, I wouldn't go and say what store that was or anything, but thanks to the store. Were there a lot of these stores?
The store that gave me 2, I was the only person who had come in, and I was there about an hour and a half after opening.
I just wonder, is the hype train gonna just die, crash right now, like die? People want the one of one. Maybe they're not gonna run out and try to get the free figures, but as far as I'm concerned, you're getting free figures.
Yeah.
Like, go to Hot Topic, give your rewards information, and you get one for free. It could be a chase or a common. You might as well go get it. And somebody actually messaged me today and said they got in line today. There was only one other person in line. And they said that they were there because they watched the Gastlecast, both of them.
Wow, that's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Word spread, bro. So here's what we're gonna do, because we love our audience and we appreciate you being here with us. We're gonna give away 2 of these. But what we need you to do is hashtag let's get some thrills.
But before we get into our interview with Carissa, I want to talk about some research I was doing today, because there were a lot of comments in our videos when we were talking about this, mentioning a law that's like a
gambling law?
It's like a no purchase necessary law for giveaways, and apparently you have to do it that way. Like, a lot of people were basically saying, like, yeah, it probably falls under the no purchase necessary law. Otherwise, it's like illegal gambling or something.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
That's a question I want to ask Carissa. Was it originally intended to be sold? Because everything that I've seen points to yes, but I want to ask her directly.
And real quick, I just want to remind you that tomorrow on MISCHIEFtoys.com, we will be selling Fritz Ghastly, or Catly. It is our kitty cat in figure form. He has a lovely backstory. He was a stray cat. We brought him in. He went through a lot of medical treatments, but now he is good to go thanks to Save Cats. Save Cats of Anne Arundel County helped our cat in such a big way, and we wanted to show our love by making this little Fritzy figure. So tomorrow you have a chance of getting this figure with one of those pins. We have a pin where it shows the Fritzy leg because he has a weird leg, or you can get the Fritzy butthole pin where he's cleaning up. So get your figure on Thursday, July the 10th at 12 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss out on this one. Go to MISCHIEFToys.com, sign up for our newsletter, and also follow us on Instagram at Mischief Toys, and go over to Facebook and join our group, Mischief Toys.
We're also donating some of the proceeds to Save Cats of Anne Arundel County, Maryland, who, like Chris had mentioned, helped get our Fritzy the treatment that he needed. So thank you, Save Cats.
All right, so we were lucky enough to have Karissa from ThrillJoy on with us tonight to talk about the day's events, because there was a lot of events that went down today, and we're going to ask the source. And Heather, I understand you have a lot of questions in front of you from our audience.
I do. So I just want to preface this by saying that as soon as I saw the video of Karissa being in the store, I was like, oh, that's weird. And if I think that's weird, I know that the whole internet is going to think that's weird. And to my not surprise, the internet is on fire today. So I immediately asked her the question like, hey, how did this happen? Why did this happen? And she said, I have a very good explanation and I know a little bit, but I'm here to get more answers. But also, I just like talking to Karissa, so I'm excited that she's on
So
again.
welcome, Karissa. We're so glad to have you again.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, Heather, let's get to the hard-hitting questions for Karissa.
Okay, well, we did ask some people, we asked some people on Instagram to drop their questions down below, and there were a lot of incredibly good questions.
And some bad ones. Let's not forget that, Heather.
Yeah, some were a little goofy, but we appreciate all of them.
No stupid questions.
Well, one of them was, do chickens have large talons? Do you have an answer
That's
for
what I was
that?
referring to. Yeah.
That's a great question.
Napoleon Dynamite question. Okay.
So I think the biggest question that I'm just going to ask, it was asked in like multiple different ways, and there were a lot of comments accusing ThrillJoy of rigging this giveaway, but I'm going to let you answer that. I think that that's a pretty harsh word, but I understand why people are frustrated. Why were you magically at the Hot Topic that the one of one was pulled? How did this come to be? Was it random?
Well, I got really good at teleporting. No, I'm kidding. God, this is how rumors start, right? So yeah, I think first and foremost, and maybe I'll just talk, and if this answers some of the questions, that's great. I think first and foremost is that when we were looking at Frodo and the one of one specifically, we have just incredible partners in Hot Topic, and we had a lot of back and forth on like what this could look like, how we could keep this, you know, if this gets delivered, how, like, you know, how can we make sure that it doesn't get crushed? How can all of these questions that were just like spinning around, and ultimately what we decided to come to is that we wanted to have this first program, because this is something, and me personally, I have been working on for a while with a lot of different of our products in the future with this one of one concept, and I have just been on fire about this. I think that this has been a really fun way that we have the opportunity to give back to our collectors. And so when we were looking at this, we really were like, we want to make this fair and accessible. We wanted to take away the people that had the multiple screens and were able to, like, you know, cheat the system, if we want to call it that, in with the bots, and maybe people that could buy master cartons. And we were just like, we want to see how we can just do this all, like, across the board, across the country, how we can make this fair so everyone gets a free product. And that's sort of what we came to a conclusion with Hot Topic, which is incredible. Was, you know, they were like, yeah, just you can give away the Frodo. And again, incredible partners in Hot Topic. It came together, and we were able to introduce a lot of people to ThrillJoy that might not have been able to either afford one or have never heard of us before, and welcome them into our community and our family. And so that was sort of how this one of one started, and how we've ended up with this with Frodo. And we really were excited about being able to give back to our community in that way. And I think that the why was I there? In order to keep it random, we were getting so many DMs and so many emails, and I'm sure that even some people watching might have been the people writing them, of like, how are you going to make sure that this is not rigged? And how are you going to make sure, you know, we were hearing that some locations were handling it different than the other locations. And, you know, how do we know it didn't get handed off to a ThrillJoy family member? Or how did we know it didn't get handed off to a Hot Topic family member? Or, you know, are they opening it before? How could you tell? You know, there's all of these different factors that go into the chase pieces. And we kept hearing this over and over and over again in our DMs and our email. And I think that where I'm genuinely surprised, and maybe I'm ignorant, and that's possibly true, is I'm just an optimist. And I think I look at the world maybe sometimes with sunshine and rainbows a little bit too much, but I'm genuinely so surprised that that people were so angry, because the way that we looked at this is like, look, this is such a precious thing. We need to track this. And so we made sure that the product got there. We made sure that, you know, everything was all good. And also we were like, in order to keep this fair, why don't we have a member on site to just ensure that the distribution is actually fair, and that it doesn't go to somebody's monkey's uncle, or somebody's not opening it ahead of time, or whatever that looks like. You know, that we heard every possible scenario in our DMs. And and I think that genuinely trying to avoid that coming out and being the case, obviously, like, people are upset, and I hear that. And I think that from the beginning, you know, I'm so in tune with this community. I love our fan base just so deeply, like, truly, like, I think every single person has such valid opinions on this. And I feel so bad that it has been interpreted to our fan base that this is rigged in any way. I was genuinely so excited that our company was like, Carissa, you've been working on this, like, you should be the one that goes and sees this happen and oversee this. And it all, like I said, I got on a plane this morning, I'm leaving tonight. So it was like truly just a random situation. We drew a store number out of a hat. And that is how we even came to the store. It's like, I had a literal bowl. We sat with the Hot Topic team, and it was like, where am I going? And that's how we got that product there. And of course we needed to have eyes on that. You know, I think that in the future we have so many learnings, and I think that even some of our initial, like, shipments and things that we were seeing going out in this first round, we really were like so aware that we wanted it to be in pristine condition. We were so aware that this could be potentially rigged, and just really just in shock that people are and so surprised that people are taking it that I maybe had rigged it, or we had rigged it, or Hot Topic had rigged it, or whatever this is. We really wanted to try our best to oversee this, to ensure that this went to a fan, and it did, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are trying to do all the right things. I knew that there was a good reason why this happened the way that it happened, because I find out about this like secondary. Heather called me and said, "Hey, you're not going to believe what happened. Let me explain this to you."
Well, first I called him to say, "I'm not going to believe this. Carissa was at the Hot Topic. It was pulled." And I was like thinking, like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Personally, I was sort of shocked in the fact that it was pulled today, because, you know, the Hot Topic thing was going on for 3 days.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, it was like, oh, wow, it's pulled on the first day. That was incredibly fast. But knowing the, you know, everything that you guys are doing to do this coordinated effort to make sure that, you know, it doesn't get taken by like a Hot Topic employee, because we got a lot of comments that way, which is very interesting, because we made a video yesterday talking about this and talked about how they were being given away, and that Hot Topic employees were not allowed to get them. In fact, the Hot Topic that I saw at our local mall mentioned, I really want it, but I can't get it.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that. I didn't understand what she was talking about.
Until we read the FAQ.
Exactly. I didn't know until then. But the fact that you guys went through all of this planning in order to make sure that it all worked out right, pulling the store number from a hat, because we're talking about a one-of-one here, first off. But secondly, the other part of this is that Sidekick Inc. made a comment that I thought was really interesting, because I don't know much about Willy Wonka, but Willy Wonka, and I've never watched the film.
It's fictional, though.
It is
People tore
fictional.
him apart about that.
No, I understand, but that Willy Wonka knew where all the tickets were.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want it to get missed, because realistically, okay, we read the FAQ, and it basically said after a certain date, there would be some sold online. And I would imagine that there would be X amount going to the store, and that one-of-one was 1,000,000% within that, so that it could be pooled without a purchase. And then what was online would be like the regular one or the chase. That was my assumption. So obviously, like, people know where it's at. Someone has to know where it's at, because like you said, you want it to be in good condition. And not only that, like, you want to make sure that it's not being given to a Hot Topic employee or set aside, because with other collectible companies, I mean, that is accused all the time. The employees at the store are hiding them and buying them after their shift, or, you know, having their mom come in and buy it from them. So,
but you know, even on our end, I do want to mention that, you know, like I said, Hot Topic has been a really great partner through this, and we didn't think that was going to happen at all. We just wanted to make sure that our fans knew that this was going to be happening as fair as possible, that it wasn't going to get set aside even by someone on our team, right? Like it could truly go either way. And, you know, like I said, first of all, like we just have a lot of learnings coming out of this, right? Like we do with everything as a 9-month-old company, and, you know, everything we do is sort of under this magnifying glass. And I think that that's incredible, because that means our community is so tapped in. And it is why I love this family so much. It's why I feel so lucky every single day to be a part of this. And we're going to take all this feedback, and we're going to do better for the next time. That is all we can do here. Ultimately, what we wanted to do was give a free Frodo to our fans. And the one-of-one thing aside, is like that in itself was such a success, because I saw people get their first ever ThrillJoy and pull a chase. And I saw other people, you know, even like friends of mine from other states that were like, I'm so excited to grab this. I've been waiting for the Frodo release for this whole time. Like people that weren't even necessarily hunting for the one-of-one, but just were excited to have ThrillJoy be a part of their collection, I think was really special. And I am still happy that we had the opportunity to give away so many free items to our fans, to introduce them and bring them into this, what I truly believe to be the most special and beautiful community.
Yeah, and the giveaway itself was amazing. I mean, the whole thing's amazing, right? You're getting this very cool one-of-one piece, and then you get this trip, and it's a whole thing. I thought just generally it was a cool thing. I'm really happy for you guys. And I think you guys are doing some really cool stuff. You know, that's my personal feelings. And that's what we talk about here on the channel. These really crazy, like the giveaway that happened at the con not too long ago, where somebody got the gold piece and Mariotti's offering money to, you know, for the piece. I mean, it's just crazy. Like all the fun stuff happening with ThrillJoy. That's what keeps me coming back. Yeah. So yeah, I think that what you guys did, the way that it was done, from what you're telling me, sounds totally fine to me, and I think it was a cool giveaway anyway. And the pieces were cool too, because we actually pulled a couple in this video.
We did.
Yeah.
We actually got them before we're talking to you, and I got 4 of them today at different Hot Topics all around the state, and I pulled 3 commons and 1 chase.
Yeah.
I didn't pull the one-of-one, but you know. And
it wasn't rigged. The chase wasn't a rigged job here. No. We got it fair and square. Okay, Heather, what's the next question?
Well, yeah, I know you guys have to wrap up soon, so.
We do, yeah. Honestly, she answered almost everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like any question that I could ask has pretty much been answered.
Amazing.
There was a question about it being giveaway versus sold. Was that sort of a collaborative effort between you and Hot Topic?
Yeah. So, like I said, we have such amazing partners with them, and when we were going back and forth on ways that we could do this to make it fair for everybody, they were the people that came back and they were like, how do you feel if we introduce people to ThrillJoy by giving it away? And I just think that that is so cool and so special. So we were able to partner with them to do that, to really bring, like I said, ThrillJoy to the homes of many people that might not have had them before.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
And the very last question, because you're here with the Gastlecast, but we might not have the reach to the ThrillJoy audience as much as ThrillJoy would. Will ThrillJoy make a public statement of their own on this matter?
Yes, yeah, we fully look at I just think we're surprised, like I said, right? So we didn't have anything like super prepared. We were going to do this really fun video about like the road to the one of one. So we fully intend on facing this and hearing what everyone has to say. So there will absolutely be more to come from us. We're not trying to hide anything. It's why I agreed to hop on with you guys today. We just really are the thing that's tough about this whole thing is we really are genuinely trying to do right by this community, and we will make mistakes because we do, and people are always going to be angry because they are, but it is all coming from the most genuine place. We're not trying to be malicious. We're not trying to spew anything. Like we just really are trying to give back to this community and do what we can to make things feel fair. So yeah.
Absolutely.
But like I said, we're going to bring everything back. We're going to go internally and we're going to discuss what one of ones look like in the future. We hear you. We always try to hear you.
So I'm going to tell you my feelings on this situation. So without an explanation, I was definitely scratching my head. But with an explanation, I completely see where you guys were coming from. I completely understand it. And honestly, like, this is a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because had you guys mixed it in with like the full batch, including the ones that were going to be sold online, like people would start, saying stuff if it wasn't pooled with the free giveaway in store. Oh, well, they rigged it because they wanted to sell them. Or if it was pooled just randomly and like it wasn't, I guess
like a true fan or like
like it wasn't a true fan, or if it wasn't like on camera or something, which
right, yeah,
you specifically, the video I saw was not you recording it, so it was posted by somebody completely random as far as I know. I actually reached out to them.
They reached out to us. They came back.
No, I reached out to them, so I'm going to read that here shortly when we hop off with you. But I feel as if no matter how this went, if there was not video evidence, it would be rigged. If it were sold online and someone got it, it would be rigged. Like, no matter what happened, people would still find reasons to be unhappy with it if it's not them pooling it.
And it's a one of one.
It like
and there's only one person who can get it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come on.
So
I look at I hear it. We always are going to try to do better. We always are. And that's all we can do is we're human. We're going to make mistakes. Like I said, I still think that this has been such an amazing opportunity. I'm still so happy that so many people got free product, got free ThrillJoy, got introduced to ThrillJoy, truly including the person that even received the one of one. I like had to teach him how to like tear into the back of it because, he hadn't even really known. So it like really was random. And, we're just doing our best. Like that's all we can do, and we hear you, and we will take all of this feedback, and we will move forward with this in a way that makes sense for the community, in a way that everyone feels comfortable with it. And again, just surprised that it's been taken this way.
Yeah. So anyone who's watching this video, I would like to ask, in what way do you feel like ThrillJoy could have done this and everybody be happy with how it was done? Because after hearing Carissa explain this, like, I feel like that was a pretty good way of doing it. Like
100%.
somebody had to know where it was going to be.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
Would definitely like some feedback for ThrillJoy, not necessarily for us, but we could pass along to ThrillJoy.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say, like right now, I would much rather be talking about SDCC, ThrillJoy being there. Talk about your event that you guys are going to be throwing there as well. The block party. I would rather be talking about that type of stuff. So I'm hoping tomorrow, being a new day, we can start on a different page and we can start talking about that stuff. And Karissa, I really hope that we can get you and Brian back here for SDCC talk before the show. I think that would be really great. Let's get to a subject that is incredibly positive and get away from this stuff.
Yeah.
Let's do that. How's that sound?
That sounds great. I'm so excited to see you guys again and see everyone that is watching at San Diego Comic-Con. And I really do hope that you guys were able to go get your Frodo from your Hot Topic and it's can sit proudly on your shelf. So.
Yep, exactly. Everybody go out to Hot Topic now and get your figure just as long as you have an account with Hot Topic. Which is a rewards account. Get your rewards account. Go get your figure now. You might get the chase. Thank you so much, Karissa. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Right.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A with Karissa from ThrillJoy. Hopefully, we answered all of your questions. I hope it's helpful for those out there who felt a little perturbed earlier. I hope we got somewhere with this one. We want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. In every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons from Patreon. In this video, we'd like to shout out to Nathan Bakken, Clarissa V, Carlos Campbell, The Disgruntled Octopus, Celeste Crawford, Simon Crook, Casey Hewlett, J.R. Garcia, Steven Skolansky, and George Blanchard. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys rock so hard. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Gastlecast if you want to support this channel and also be a part of some really fun Google Meet lives that we do every single month on a random Saturday. We do giveaways, show you upcoming Mischief Toys things, and just overall have a really, really great time. Go check out patreon.com/Gastlecast now to figure out what is the best tier for you. Tier 2 is $5, which will get you to be a part of this live that we do every month, and also you get to see your name here. Tier 3 is $10, and that gets you everything I just mentioned and a giveaway. And then Tier 4 is everything I mentioned, the giveaways included, and an even better giveaway every other month. So go and check it out, patreon.com/Gastlecast. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell. That way you'll know anytime we go live or post brand new content. We post new content every single day. Come back and watch us live every Sunday between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. We have a blast here and we would love to have a blast with you. All right, that's all we've got for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. See you in the next one.
Bye.